Hi there, Chemistry 3111. This is Mr. Dion, and in this video, I just want to quickly go over the syllabus for our class and take a quick look at Canvas to help you navigate that for our summer course. So, Chemistry 3111, I have a little blurb at the beginning here. My name is Mr. Dion, and this class is completely online this summer. The reason we do it online is to give students a flexible schedule, whereas this course consists of pre-recorded lectures that are available in the chapter modules in Canvas, and so you can watch the videos on your own schedule. However, you must be reminded, or you should be reminded, that this course is not self-paced, okay? There are still due dates for quizzes and for homework and for discussions, and so you want to be following the course schedule very carefully. Now, what do you need to complete this class? Well, this is an online class, and so you're going to need a reliable internet connection for completing homework, for watching the videos, for doing quizzes, discussions, and whatnot. You're going to need a webcam and microphone on your computer so that you can operate Respondus Lockdown Browser and Respondus Monitor, a printer. And the reason why you need a printer for this class is not only to print out a periodic table and some reagent handouts that you'll need for some quizzes, but in case I ask you to complete a handwritten assignment throughout the course of the semester, you're able to print it out, complete it, scan it, and submit it. Anyhow, so this class is online. It is not remote, not in person. What's the difference? So I go over this here. And there was a time when I ran this course as synchronous remote, where I would lecture live over Microsoft Teams. And we got a lot of feedback from students saying, well, I have a job, I'm traveling, and I'm unable to attend these lectures. And so what they wanted was pre-recorded lecture videos, and so that's what we do now. So I have all the lectures pre-recorded, and I'll show you where to access those on Canvas. And I'm sure most of you who are watching this video have taken a look at those already. So Organic Chemistry 2 online, Chemistry 3111 is designed to help students discover and understand the principles of organic chemical structures, reactions, mechanisms, and synthesis. And we're going to focus a lot on synthesis in Chemistry 3111. Now, outside of just the regular covering of the material by yourself, watching the lecture videos, you're going to need to spend 14 to 18 hours a week outside of class studying and working practice problems. The only way to master the content in organic chemistry is to do all of the practice problems, and I'll show you how to access those practice problems. Next thing, quizzes are inherently cumulative. Sometimes students will ask me, will there be questions from chapter 11 on quiz 12? And the answer is sure, absolutely. Organic chemistry is an additive subject, and so you need to know the content from chapter 12 to master the content in chapter 12 and 13, so on and so forth. So as I said, my name is Mr. Dion. I don't have any office hours this semester, but you can always contact me by email. Don't use the messaging feature in Canvas. Furthermore, when you email me, please specify which class you are in. I'm teaching several classes this summer, so say this is so-and-so, I'm in your Chemistry 3111, and then proceed with your question. If you ever want to meet with me, quote-unquote, in person, we can try to organize a time where we could chat over Microsoft Teams. Only email me using your UCCS account. Don't email me from a Gmail or a Hotmail. It's actually a FERPA violation for me to answer those. As far as the course outcomes go, I'll let you read that on your own time, all of that here. But the materials that you need for this class are going to be our textbook, which is the 4th edition of Organic Chemistry. The author is David Klein. David Klein's Organic Chemistry is the most popular organic chemistry textbook in America. It's great. If you're enrolled in TAP, you have access right away, and I'll show you how to access that. Now, it says here under optional materials, because I guess technically it is optional, but I would say borderline not optional, is the study guide and solutions manual for the 4th edition. This costs $18. This is going to be the best $18 that you'll ever spend in a course, or at least an organic chemistry course, because not only does it have the answers, it has the guided solutions to each one of the problems in the textbook. And like I say here, it would be quite difficult to be successful in the course without the solutions manual. Now, a question that might arise from some of you is, well, I took Organic Chemistry 1 with you in the spring, and you used the 5th edition. Why are you using the 4th edition now? And the reason why I'm using the 4th edition is because my lecture videos that I had made, which I spent a lot of time on, are based off of the 4th edition. But don't worry, you're not going to be missing any content whatsoever, okay? The change from the 4th to the 5th edition is actually very slight. Other things you might want to pick up for this class are molecular models. You've already completed 1 semester of organic chemistry, and thus you already know whether you need models or not. We don't focus on stereochemistry and structure as much in this class as we did in organic chemistry 1, so I'll just let you make that decision on your own. And then an ACS Organic Chemistry Study Guide, they can be purchased at this link here. Again, you are not obliged to buy this, but what I always say to my students who are interested in going to medical school or dental school or what have you, anybody who might take a standardized exam that involves organic chemistry, I recommend buying an ACS Organic Chemistry Study Guide because it's a great comprehensive review of all of Organic Chemistry 1 and Organic Chemistry 2. And it's just a great way to refresh your skills, you know, if you're coming back to organic chemistry after a while. All right, so Canvas, I'm going to open up Canvas in just a little bit here in this video, so we're going to take a look at that. Grading policies. Students always want to know, where do my grades come from? Well, you can see we have quizzes. We have 13 of those. I'll drop your lowest score. However, I will only drop your lowest score if you complete all of the quizzes. So let's say you miss a quiz for whatever reason, you'd get a score of 0. Well, that would probably be your lowest score, and so I would drop that one. So I repeat, I will not drop a quiz score unless you write all of the quizzes. Then you get 2.5% for watching the lecture videos throughout the course of the semester. So you have 8 weeks to watch all the lecture videos, and I'll give you 2.5% for that. Next, we have discussions. Discussions are a great way to just kind of get to know the people in the class and see who else is taking this class with you, and get to see what people's career aspirations are. That's what we're talking about in discussion 1, and what got us interested in science in the first place. So it's always nice to hear those kind of stories. And later on, we'll have a discussion about organic molecules. We'll look at that later. Then we have a final exam. Okay, the final exam is either going to be an ACS final or something that mimics an ACS final that I put together. And then, of course, you have your homework, which is completed on Wiley. And so you can see the weighting for each one of these assignments. Just a couple of notes down here. So, like I mentioned before, are there questions on the quizzes that could be based off of material from previous chapters? And the answer is yes. I put 10 to 20%, maybe. The final exam, I just went over that. There's no extra credit in this class. Homework assignments, like I said, are worth 10% of your grade. I see that some of you have started knocking out, the first homework assignment already, and that's just amazing. They're all available from the first day of class, or a bunch of them are open at least by now. And I'll open the rest of them progressively as the semester moves along if I haven't already. But just to let you know, you can submit homework late. There's no problem with that. However, you will receive a grade reduction of 50%. So let's say you complete your homework, a week late, and you get 100%. Well, you'd only get 50% credit. I have a blurb here about on-time watching of the lecture videos and how it just mimics, class attendance. And so I highly recommend watching those and making notes as you go along. I have the lecture slides posted so you can print them out. You can make notes on them. You can pause the video, attempt the problems. And I highly recommend that when you're watching the video, don't just watch me solve a problem. Stop the video, try and solve the problem yourself. Then maybe watch me solve it after. Because as I've told you, if you took Organic Chemistry 1 with me, one of my mantras sort of in organic chemistry is like riding a bicycle. You can watch all kinds of videos of people riding bicycles, but it doesn't mean you can ride a bicycle. The only way to ride a bicycle or to learn how to ride a bicycle is to get on the bike and try it. And it's the same thing with organic chemistry. Actually, you have to get your pencil and some paper out and try working through the problems. Just some quiz and exam policies that I'll let you go through here. So census date is posted here, some information about withdrawing from the lecture. Science Center, I'm not even sure if the Science Center is open over the summer or not. I should look into that in more detail, but usually students reach out to me with any questions that they have. Disability services, you can read that, the syllabus statement, and the part about military students. But at the end here, I've got a little thing about tips for success in this class. So let's go over this. Number 1, if you have a question, don't hesitate to email me. Just email me. I'm never going to be offended at you asking me a chemistry question. If you come to me and say, I tried this question, I can't figure it out. Here's what I've done. Can you tell me where I'm going wrong or what I'm missing? That's the best way to ask a question. If you just email me and say, I'm completely lost, I don't know anything, can you help me? Well, there's not much I can do. You have to show me that you've tried something. So a lot of times when students ask me a question, I'll reply back often and say, can you show me what you did? Can you just take a screenshot or just a quick picture of your handwriting, of the problem solving that you've done? And then I can chime in and see if I can help you out with that. So always give it a try. And then, if you can't figure it out, let me know. Don't get behind in this course. Okay. This class is self-paced to a degree, but again, there are due dates that you have to keep up with in the schedule. And so it's only self-paced to a degree. You still have to keep up with those due dates. And so do not get behind. Okay. Be proactive, be aggressive in getting your homework done and getting through the videos and everything. I would check your UCCS email and Canvas at least once per day. I probably won't be posting announcements every single day, but make sure you check just so you know what's going on in the class. Do not use any email account other than your UCCS account. I've already gone over that. Make sure you tell me which class you're in and whatnot. Keep a separate notebook for working problems. I can't stress this enough, okay? I've taught a lot of students, thousands of students, organic chemistry, and the ones that are usually the most successful are the ones who are very organized. So you want to keep a record of every single problem that you've done throughout the course. Do not just do the homework, read in the text, write your own notes. Be sure to complete all the suggested practice problems from the text. And I'm going to show you where to find these suggested practice problems in just a minute. So let's take a look at our schedule. So here's our schedule. We're in week 1 right now, if you're just watching this video after I just published it. So in week 1, you should be covering chapter 11 and chapter 12. You see the due date for homework 11 and quiz 11 is here. And what you notice about this schedule is that over 8 weeks, generally speaking, you cover 2 chapters of organic chemistry a week, except for week 5, where we only cover chapter 21. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is a lot of work. Okay. It's a lot of work to cover all of this content. But again, this isn't your first rodeo. Okay. All of you have passed organic chemistry 1. And so you know what is involved in mastering content in organic chemistry. And I would say in the summer, it's more intense, right? It's more intense because you cover so much more material faster. But the schedule is posted. I recommend printing this out, keeping a copy of it. So you never need to email me and say, what are we covering this week? Furthermore, I'm going to post announcements at the beginning of each week, just as a gentle reminder as to what chapters you should be covering, what homework is due, quiz dates, and all that kind of thing. Okay, so here we are in our class's Canvas page. We're in the home right now. I'm just going to click on announcements. So you see announcements is just below home. I'm going to click on that. And when I do, you see I already have a couple of announcements posted. I have a welcome announcement. I have a week 1 announcement. And so make sure you go over all of those. But I'm going to go back to the home right now. And everybody should go through the Getting Started module right away. It has the syllabus that I just covered. It has the schedule. It has the instructions for Respondus. So I have everything laid out here. I have my virtual office hours, and of course, I just have my contact information there. Information about the online homework, and then in each quiz, you're allowed to bring in a periodic table. This is the periodic table you're allowed to bring. So you don't just bring any periodic table. You're going to print this one specifically, and you have to show the front and the back of it on the camera in Respondus to show that you have no notes written on there, of course. Then we see the link for discussions. I see many of you have posted in the first discussion already. I'm doing my best to keep up with those. Then you see your first chapter, and this is what I have laid out for every chapter. I have the chapter slides, then I have the suggested practice problems, the homework. These links here are all the different videos I have. And then, of course, we have the link for the quiz down here at the bottom. Now, there is this exercise here, the Introduction to Wiley Plus. This is mostly geared towards students who haven't used Wiley before. And it's sort of a primer to help you navigate the Wiley Plus drawing tool for your homework. And so you might want to give that a try. You see I have it open until the end of the course. Okay, so you can access that at any time to get some practice on there. Now, where do we access our textbook? Well, you'll see a link up here below assignments that says Wiley Course Resources. So I'm going to click on that link. And after you click on that link, it brings you to this page where you have a link to the textbook, and then you have a link to the Integrated Solutions Manual. So I'm going to hit launch on the textbook. And so let's start right here with the first chapter we cover this semester, which is synthesis. And as you're reading through the chapter, okay, you'll see questions. So you see question here 11.1, and then there's question 11.2. Okay, you keep reading, going through all these different concepts, and then you'll see there's question 11.3. Well, when you look at the list of suggested practice problems, I don't write them as 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, 11.4, because that gets pretty redundant. I just put them as 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you'll notice is if you go to the end of the chapter, so if we go to the end of this chapter, you'll see here there's practice problems, okay? And you'll notice that for this particular chapter, that the practice problems start at, scroll up here, they start at question 11.11. Now, if we go back to Canvas and you click on the link that says suggested practice problems, it's going to bring you here. And you see that the questions that I recommend you complete in the body of the chapter are questions 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, 11.5, 11.6, 11.7, 11.9. And then you notice that at the end of the chapter, they started with question 11.11. Well, lo and behold, I start with question 11. I'll just remind you one more time about these suggested practice problems. I recommend that you do all of them. Don't do half of them. Don't do 90% of them. I would do 100% of them. You'll see that I've left a few of them out, and those are the ones that I don't think are as pertinent as the others. But again, I recommend that you do all of the practice problems. Now, going back to the Wiley Course Resources, if we click on the Wiley Course Resources, again, you see there's a link here for the eSolutions Manual. So if we click launch on that, it brings us to a shopping cart, and you can see the price of the Solutions Manual is $18. Like I said, it's the best $18 you'll ever spend. It's not included in TAP, unfortunately, but again, I highly recommend buying this. It has the guided solution to every practice problem in the textbook, and I think it would be very difficult to master all the content without having access to the Solutions Manual. And so there you have it. I hope you're looking forward to learning a lot of interesting concepts in organic chemistry. I find Chemistry 3111 is just a great class. It's probably my favorite class to teach, arguably. There's just so much cool synthesis in it. And there's a few conceptual chapters in here where they're a little less synthesis heavy. But I just feel like it's just a great course. And also for my students who are moving into biochemistry later on, if you've taken a look at this schedule, you notice that the last, towards the end of the class, you get into amines and carbohydrates, peptides, proteins, amino acids. So it's kind of like an intro to biochemistry in a way. I like that part a lot. And then the last chapter, the synthetic polymers, is arguably the shortest chapter in the entire book. So it's kind of sort of a fast thing that you cover there at the end. But I'd be remiss to not talk a little bit about polymers, which are organic, after 2 semesters of organic chemistry. So I hope you found this video helpful, and look forward to having you all in this class this summer.